Hi everyone, my name is Professor Particle and I am a sap for science. That just means I really love science. Today we're going to go on a bug hunt and learn a little bit about the ecosystems of the forest. And then later we'll head back to the lab and we'll do an experiment so that you can practice making mini ecosystems at home. It's important to remember to dress for the weather, so today I'm bringing a hat and a raincoat because it's raining. I'm also bringing some supplies for a bug hunt, like a magnifying glass and a notebook, so I can record all of the bugs that I see. Now I'm ready. All good scientists take notes of the world around them. I like to draw the bugs that I see and take notes about the places I find them and even the weather that day. That way I don't have to remove them from their home and I'll have memories to look back on. If I take notes of everything I notice on my bug hunt, I might be able to notice patterns like what bugs are out when it's raining, what about when it's sunny. Taking notes is super important. You know, an easy pattern I've noticed is that there's a lot more worms and slugs when it's rainy. But I think I'll stop bugging you with information. Let's get started and go on a bug hunt. Wow, we sure saw some really cool things on our bug hunt today. A slug, a salamander, and a couple spiders and roly-polies. Cool. Next time you're out bug hunting, remember to take your notebook and pencil so that you can keep track of patterns you see and the environment that you find the bugs in. For instance, that salamander was in wet, decomposing logs. But it's important to leave bugs where we find them in the forest. If you remember from last week, plants and animals all make up part of an ecosystem. Ecosystems are where the plants and animals all need each other to survive. Okay, now that we've seen a bunch of bugs, let's head back to the lab, get out of the rain, and see how ecosystems work. Ecosystems help maintain a balance so that all living things within it can survive. That means they balance the food, water, and air that all the plants and animals need. The water cycle that we learned about a couple weeks ago actually plays a really important role in making sure that there's enough water in this forest ecosystem. So here's the water cycle at work, giving all of the water to the plants. Here in our forest ecosystem, The plants rely on the sun and the soil and water for their energy and nutrients, or food. And then the bugs and all of the other creepy crawly things that we found today rely on the plants for their energy or nutrients. Because an ecosystem is balanced and everything needs everything else, what do you think would happen if you removed something like a big tree from it? Where would the animals go? What would the bugs eat? Now, if you don't live in a forest, that's okay. You can make your own ecosystem at home. Let's do an experiment and make an ecosystem in a jar. For this experiment, what you're going to need is a jar with a lid. You're going to need some rocks, some dirt, some moss, some sticks, and some seeds. And importantly, water. Let's assemble our ecosystem. We're going to build it in layers up the jar. So the first thing we're going to do is put in some rocks. Rocks allow for drainage. On top of the rocks, we're going to put soil. Try not to spill it everywhere, but if you do, that's fine. Pack it down just a little bit. Now we've got some layers. Next thing we're going to do is put in some sticks and a little bit of moss to help with maintaining moisture in our little ecosystem. Now, I'm going to plant some seeds in mine. And finally, we're going to water it. Give it a nice good spray. And then close the lid. Now, we have a nice ecosystem in a jar. It's got water that will go up and down with evaporation and condensation, and it's got plants and wood. And that's it, an ecosystem in a jar. Here's an ecosystem that I made a couple weeks ago, and you can see that it's already growing lots of plants inside. I didn't add any bugs to my ecosystem, but that's okay. The moss might have little tiny bugs that we can't see in it, and same with the sticks. Everything I put in my ecosystem, I actually found in my garden. You can actually use that notebook that we used to take all of those drawings of bugs out on our bug hunt to track what's happening in your little tiny ecosystem. Is it growing? Is it dry? Does it need more water? Less water? Who knows? Keep track and find out. Next time you're outside, remember to take note of all of the bugs and plants and animals you see around you. Try to figure out where they fit in an ecosystem. Well, thanks for going on a bug hunt and building an ecosystem in a jar with me today. I hope you had fun. Remember, I'm Professor Particle, I'm probably a real scientist, and I'll see you next time.